Hey everybody, welcome on into the Delmarva Sports Insider, the only live and local show dedicated to giving you all local sports all the time. I am Sports Director Brandon Bosser.
And I'm Devin J. Martin. Welcome to the show. We got a lot to get into tonight.
Ton of basketball. I think we are starting to see some teams separate themselves from the pack so far, Devin.
And Brandon, those teams that you mentioned, we're going to be focusing on in depth to make sure that people kind of know what's going on with them.
Yeah, let's get started with a team that has been very impressive so far this season, but we haven't really talked about them very much.
And that team is the Dover Senators. They've been a force, and we got to see them tonight in Georgetown. Sussex Central going to misplace this pass. Denham Perkins picking up the steal. And he's going to go all the way with this one, pushing his way through traffic and getting the easy lay-in to fall. Now the Golden Knights would keep it close in the first quarter. Eric Vander Capellen gets it, and he goes baseline with this one, and it falls for him. Now, that would be about as close as it gets.
Yeah, Dover working some magic on this possession. Perkins going baseline, throws it back out to Amir Height. He's going for the tray, and he knocks it down. Beautiful shot right there. Now, this next highlight is a thing of beauty. Watch the ball movement right here by Dover on this one. It's so fast, you can barely keep up with it, and they're going to kick it to Denham. He goes baseline again, kicks it back out to Height, and bang! He gets the three ball to fall. That was just fun to watch. Man, Dover looks good this season. They take this one in dominant fashion, winning 71-30. So yeah, Dover is pretty good this year, but you know what? They're also young, but they're also very well coached, which can be a deadly trifecta.
Yep.
We'll see how far they can go with most of their top talent being just sophomores, but you know what? Coach Stephen Wilson just won his 200th game. By the way, congratulations, Coach, on that milestone. But this team works the ball around. We saw it in those highlights. That was impressive to watch. Right. And they have active hands on defense, great defensive team. So I'm not sure they're a Final Four caliber team just yet, but they are a team to keep an eye out for.
Well, you mentioned two things that I want to get into a little bit more depth, Brandon. In terms of the age, I mean, good coaching plus a lot of sophomores in terms of young players. That means not only they're going to be dangerous this year, but for the next 2 seasons at least to come. So other teams are going to have to be on the lookout for that. But also the ball movement. I mean, it's beautiful to see ball movement like that. That's going to raise the floor and ceiling of this team because it makes them harder to guard. It makes them more unpredictable because it's not just stationary. It's not just people standing around. I mean, and that one clip, I counted maybe 6 passes, maybe 7 in about 3 seconds.
We don't see it very often at the high school level, and that's for sure. And that's another thing that makes them so hard to defend is because these teams do not see this type of ball movement, this type of offense very often.
Right, and it's not even just the ball movement, too. It's the off-ball movement as well. I mean, it's just going to be hard to stop. Again, maybe 7 passes in about 4 seconds. I mean,
it shows just how well coached they are, too.
Right, and now moving on to maybe the most talented team in our area, Cross Christian. They're going up against National Christian Academy. Taiwan Hardy going down the court looking for someone, and he's going to find Elijah Criddle underneath, and he gets the easy 2 to fall. Now, Cross Christian will just absolutely dominate in this one.
This is just fun to watch.
Look at that movement right there. Look at that athleticism. Hardy is going to take the bucket for himself.
Gosh.
But look at that block. That is just beautiful. And look at the dunk right there. Just great athleticism.
Antoine Wilson, he's one of the best.
Just beautiful. And then you just see the 3, the skip pass. He's wide open. He knocks it down with a beauty shot. I mean, they just were unchallenged in this one.
Yeah, and there's Antoine Wilson again with the two-handed jam. You know what? Cross Christian is a really, really good team. They're not a DIAA competitive team. There we see Taiwan Hardy getting it into Elijah Criddle there, formerly with Smyrna. But this team is just a lot of fun to watch. You watch Taiwan Hardy there going into the basket, the scoop and score reverse lay-in. That's just impressive to watch. These guys are a lot of fun to watch. They're not DIAA, but you know what? We're going to send our cameras out there. We're going to get some great highlights every time we go out there. Final score, Cross Christian wins it 91-80. All right, let's move on now to maybe the game of the week. One of the best games we've seen on the year took place on Tuesday. Seaford and Woodbridge in an instant classic. We picked this one up in the second quarter. Check out this sequence right here. Woodbridge hustling for the offensive boards, and it would pay off. Rasheed Stones lines it up and knocks it down. Then look at the emotion on his face. This was a tremendously emotional battle. Seaford was behind most of the night, but never out of it. Here's Kashmir Wise with a tray ball. Freshman for the Blue Jays. Hey, they're faithful, well represented in the stands that night. How about more from Stones here? Made 4 triples on the night, but the Blue Jays keeping it close as Kareem Bolden going to step in rhythm for 2 right there. We're tied late in the 3rd. Move to the 4th now. Raiders back in front, but here come the Jays on the fast break. Tyrese Fortune up ahead to Avion Matthews, lays it in, but hold on a second. They're going to call a travel on the bucket. So in the end, this came down to free throws. Here's Wise, a freshman, stepping up to the line. Team up 1. That makes it 2. Second shot up and off. Bruce Mosley going to corral the rebound there. He is fouled, goes to the line to shoot 2. First one, makes it. So this one is for the tie right here. His shot for the second one is up, in and out. And Niall Rook's going to come up with it for Seaford. The Seaford Blue Jays hang on for a 51-50 upset win on the road in Greenwood. Fans storming the court to celebrate with the Jays. A lot of emotion after this one. The Jays knock off their Henlopen South rivals by 1 point.
Tough finish. And that always been our rivalry. It's all started off of practice. We got to be locked in. We just came here to play. We didn't give up.
Well, we knew Woodbridge is scrappy. They're going to play hard the whole time. So we knew we just had to keep playing, keep grinding. Some of the calls didn't go our way, but we just had to stay mentally tough. And I think the guys did, and they finished the game out.
Now to Wednesday, a good matchup between IR and Lake Forest. Jalen Morris with the swipe. He takes it to the house. Morris made noise in the first half with a couple of pickpocket steals and fast breaks. The Spartans had good ball movement for the most of the first half. Khalif Spencer with the pass down low to Justin Jackson. He gets that one to go. Now, IR was a different team after the break. Andrew Burns from the top of the key, one-on-one with Jackson Starkey. He takes it in, and it goes in. Now, Jamie Burns wants to turn top of the key, squares up, and drops the 3. Now, IR would dominate the second half. Steals, fast break, 3-pointers, you name it, they did it. You see the basket right there. Indian River with a statement win. They down the Spartans in this one when the final score of 51-37.
Yeah, good win for Indian River there. All right, last night, a good test for Delmar hosting Woodbridge. Wildcats in transition. There's Kenny Newton with the pin on the glass. Woodbridge had the lead after 3. But you can never count Delmar out. Here's freshman David Chandler leading the charge, and that's 3 the hard way right there. Woodbridge continues to battle, though. Newton driving, and he's going to finish this one right here. Goes into the lane, battling through 2 defenders, gets the layup to go. How about Bruce Mosley now? Going to pull up and knock down this shot from long distance. But this is where Delmar would take this one over. Jalen Warner driving, finishing amongst the trees. This man's been to the gym showing off the guns. That's a big bucket there. Mosley still putting up a fight, though, trying to lead Delmar with a W, getting the layup, and then the 3-pointer right here to fall. Woodbridge staying close, but you know what? Check out sophomore Takai Hughie. The tray ball right there. What a comeback by the Cats. Delmar wins 56-51. They're now 8-2 on the season. I think a lot of people are surprised by this Delmar team because they are very young. We mentioned David Chandler in those highlights, and we were able to talk with the freshman who has been causing a lot of buzz since he debuted as an 8th grader last year.
And he's getting quite a bit of recognition beyond Delmarva. So this After the Whistle is brought to you in part by Avery Hall Insurance.
My best part is in my defense and going to the basket, shooting, all that.
The freshman phenom from Delmar has the Wildcats on the basketball radar in the Henlopen South. He's back for a second year on the top squad after bypassing JV in the 8th grade. He had to fight doubters who thought he was too young to be playing varsity.
Everybody thought I wasn't that good because I'm a world-classman than everybody. Then I just started to motivate myself and continue, pushing everybody and pushing myself.
And those doubts evaporated as David Chandler dropped 17 on Laurel in his first game. And since then, he's done nothing but impress. And it's not just Delaware athletes who have been impressed by the 6-foot guard, as David was named a member of Team Mellow in the summer of 2021.
The environment different up there, like the coaching more harder and like training more harder. It made me like a better player and take it more seriously.
And the experience changed Chandler and made him a better shooter, a smarter player, and a better leader. And it gave him a lot of exposure.
More exposure, more like college coaches looking at you and like trying to get your name out there.
Henlopen teams are on notice as Chandler will be a thorn in their side for years to come. In the meantime, he and his teammates are working, pushing each other, looking to add some banners to the Wildcats' den.
In practice on defense, he didn't want to like be all up on me and trying to like get me better and stuff. So I like that because it's like competition and I got to work.
Brandon Bossert, 47 ABC.
Now, Chandler plans to attend college and study sports medicine. When asked what colleges he wanted to attend, he told us he'd love to be a Terp. Now back to the action, a big matchup between top Henlopen North programs. Cape Henlopen Vikings hosting the Smyrna Eagles for senior night tonight. And this one wasn't even close. Their defense was insane, but we'll get into that soon. You see Makai Applewhite with the nice feed of Morgan Mahoney. Mahoney with a strong finish plus the foul. She had 13 points and 9 boards. The Eagles trying. You see them on the offensive glass, but the Vikings were just too much. Julia Salor getting to the rack, and the Vikings just got what they wanted, how they wanted, when they wanted, and they did it in the half court, and they did it with their pressure cooker defense. Look at the hustle by Applewhite. That's one of her 7 steals on the night. The Vikings got a total of 31 steals tonight. 31 steals. That's just insane. Applewhite was a big reason. You see, she was a monster on both ends, getting the steals and hitting that 3 and finishing off the Eagles with a tray. She had a great game. 33 points, 6 assists, 3 threes, and again, 7 steals. The Vikings win big.
That's called filling up the stat sheet right there. I'm glad we got to see Cape tonight. They deserve a lot more coverage than they get. They're the class at the Henlopen when it comes to basketball once again. A team full of senior leaders, Morgan Mahoney, Applewhite, Salor, Elizabeth Rishko. This is the year for Cape. They made it to the Final Four 2 years ago, had the rug pulled out from under them, and Denia Cannon, Abby Hearn lost a chance to play for a championship because of the coronavirus pandemic. This team has the talent to get back to the Bob this time around. But you know what? Tonight was senior night. I just want to point something out. For these seniors, 65-12 in the last 4 years, 50-2 in Henlopen North competition. So that just tells you just how dominant they've been. Wow, that's an elite program right there. And, you know, you're right, Brandon. And from what I've seen for them tonight, because I was at that game, I wouldn't be surprised if they go just, you know, they get that far back to a state championship appearance. I mean, their defense, the full court pressure was nonstop, and it's just messing with the teams that they're facing. And they had 31 steals tonight. And in their last game, Brandon, they had 32 steals against Milford. I mean, unbelievable defense.
You know the age-old saying, defense wins championships, and if they keep playing like this, they'll definitely have a chance at a ring in their grasp. And Delmar, Brandon, they've also been on a tear recently. We saw them earlier tonight. They were on a 4-game win streak, so watch out for them. Yeah, exactly. Lake, Indian River, Salisbury School, Woodbridge, great winning streak for them. All right, that'll do it for the A block. We're taking a commercial break, but when we return, we're moving to the Bay side. Our interview with the head coach of the undefeated Decatur Seahawks coming up next.
Hey, I'm Damon Chubb with Delmar Basketball. You watch the Delmarva Sports Insider.